Hey guys, it's Russell back, and on today's video, as part of our continuing series on Bring This Mercedes Back from the Dead, I'm going to show you how to do a diesel purge on your Mercedes diesel. It's very, very easy. You need a screwdriver. I got this kit I sell on dieselgiant.com, which has 2 cans of purge. It's got the correct lines and the bottle. If you're not familiar with the diesel purge, then basically I'm going to turn this into my fuel tank and I'm going to run the engine off of the purge. Now, what does the purge do? The purge is a very, very strong cleaner that's going to clean the entire injection system. It will help to clean the lines, the fuel injection nozzles, the fuel injectors themselves, and it's going to help to get rid of and disperse the carbon in the pre-chambers and in the cylinders themselves. Now, you should do this about every, I say once a year on any diesel that you have. I do it on the TDI, and so far it's got 378,000 miles on it. Don't know when the last time this was ever done. Well, yes, I do. I did this, I think I did it 10 years ago. Fail. But anyway, I want to show you guys how to do it. It's not hard. It's necessary. It's something you need to do if you have a diesel. I'm talking enough. Let me show you how to do it. All right, so there's 2 lines. There's a supply and a return line. And if you don't know which ones they are, the return line is right here. Okay, the supply line is down here. If you watch the video that I just did before this about changing the primer pump, this assembly right here is the primer pump assembly, and you have a pre-filter here. The fuel comes out of the tank and the pre-filter goes up into the primer pump, goes into this hard line, through this main filter assembly and then to the injection pump, and then it comes back through this fitting here and then back to the tank. So I need to hook our temporary fuel tank, okay, the line that goes all the way to the bottom, which is this line right here, is going to be our supply line, and this line right here will be our return line. So I'm going to take a screwdriver and loosen this, and pull this off. Make sure no fuel comes sloshing out of there. Now inspect your hoses, and if they have cracks in them and they're not soft and pliable anymore, then you will need to replace them. Alright, so this is going to be the return line. So I'll just slide this here. Okay, and then my supply line, I've got a couple of options, but what I do want to make sure I do is run it through this pre-filter that's right here. So I'm going to need to take the line loose right here at the entrance of it, and I need to get a flathead. All right, so I'm going to get a flathead screwdriver and just take this line loose. Be careful with your vacuum lines. There's vacuum lines all over the place here where my hand is hitting. And what you want to do is you want to take this supply line and get it up high. And then as fast as you can, hook our supply line from the purge tank into this, so you don't lose all your fuel out of your primer pump. Okay, just like that. Now these hoses are so tight on here, I'm not going to need to clamp them, but what you want to make sure of is to make sure that this line right here that comes from your fuel tank, you keep it up high, or else, depending on if the car is facing downhill, you run the risk of draining your tank. And you also want to make sure that the return line is also up high. Both those lines have the potential to siphon the tank out. All right, so next thing we're going to do is I'm going to open the bottle here and just double check, make sure that the line that's the longest, trace it down, that's the supply, and then the fuel is going to come back. And the short line does not need to go all the way to the bottom. And we will just open our can of Purge. And just dump it in. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour one bottle in at a time. When that gets near to the end, I will add some more. So I'm going to set this right here where it can't go anywhere. Make sure my lines are, again, if you want to go ahead and tighten the clamps, you can, but these are really tight. And then the next thing to do is just start the car. You can see the fuel coming out of the return. It's pulsing out, and the fuel is being drawn up through the supply line. All right, so we are almost out of our first bottle of Purge. There's just a little bit left, so I'm going to go ahead and put one more bottle in. I usually do this, run 2 bottles. Oops. Please don't do this with seafoam. This is designed to be used in this application. Seafoam is not designed to run a car on. It's fine to use it as it's designed, but it's definitely, don't be foolish about it. It's not worth grenading your injection pump. Diesel fuel is it's a very light oil, and seafoam is not. So anyway, let me crank it back up and let's keep on going. Alright, that is enough. When you're doing this, you don't want to let the bottle run dry. Just makes life difficult. So the next steps is we need to put the lines back the way that they were, and we need to change. This is very important. Anytime you do a diesel purge, you need to change the primary filter, which is the small clear one, and the secondary filter. or actually you can say this is the pre-filter and the main spin-on filter. But we want to change both filters because there's a lot of debris and junk. As you can see, this used to be amber and it's black. It's just picking up junk that's in the fuel system. So anyway, I'm going to end that video. We'll do a separate video on how to change both fuel filters. Guys, I appreciate your viewership. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Hit that button next to the subscribe button and you'll be notified of content as soon as it's uploaded. We're getting there. Hopefully soon I'll have this where I can drive it. And we got to get some tires for it. And we got to start on this paint. It's really bothering me. I want this thing to be standing tall. So anyway, guys, I will see you on the next video.